This is last week. Dr. King says he was pleasantly surprised by the government's ability to resist the election year grant promises.
Right, so here's the question now.
That makes sense to you?
Here's the question now. It makes sense in that what we have been saying, and that is why we are asking the media and the great analyst like himself, how is it that you are asking the opposition how they are going to finance what the proposals that they had in the budget, when none of what the Prime Minister is saying is correct, was written in the budget numbers? So you should be asking the Prime Minister, how is he going to finance all the promises that he made? Because the budget was very conservative.
Right, but let's be 101% scientific here.
Right.
Right. We have seen from the Prime Minister's statements, from the Minister of Finance that says I have 21 goodies and keep on goodies number 1, goodies number 2, goodies number 3, goodies number 4, all the way to 20 something. I listened to that and I was like, wow. It's not that I don't like it, but it sounds election,
of course,
whatever. And then a scholar associated with me goes on and says, I appreciate the fact that you did not present, but I've heard a lot of it.
Yeah, but the point is, and that's why I'm saying that none of those things that they said were written in the budget number fiscal policy paper. So you
$20,000 to people.
Right. So you should be asking them.
Rebates.
Yeah. How is it that you are going to finance it?
Retired people. Precisely. And water commission.
Yeah, man.
Those things are sustainable. Precisely. Strategic plans.
Right, which is the point I've been making all along. How is it none of the analysts were down on the opposition to quantify the value of the promises that they made?
Yes.
Nobody was asking the government, how is it that all the things that you said, when we look at the budget numbers, we don't see any of those things written in the budget numbers?
All right. Let's be 101% scientific.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Now I'm saying, had I been asked to interpret this in all possibilities, because remember, the way we interpret something is we lay out the possibilities and we use logic and prior knowledge and training to say which of them is most applicable. I push my students through this rigor where they do not find a single response to something. Now, is he saying that it could have been worse? And I appreciate the fact that it wasn't dominantly just promises, because I've heard a lot of them. So it can't be situated in a frame that says, I appreciate the fact that you did not make promises.
Which is not true.
It has to be that, yeah, we've seen a lot of promises because I've heard a lot, but it could have been much worse.
No. What he's saying is that...
No, I'm stretching this.
Yeah.
Stay with me. Right. Right. Go ahead now.
Yeah, when he looked at the numbers.
Yes.
Right? He never saw the numbers including any of those things that he's talking about. But the fact of the matter is the question then he should be asking them. How is it that we are not seeing the promises that you made outlined in the budget numbers? Which means that they are false promises.
So what you're saying is that there's a budget and then there's a Prime Minister's speech.
Precisely. And none of what the Prime Minister said was...
So the budget would fit Damien's conversation, but the presentation by the Prime Minister has to be held ceteris paribus or excluded in order for what he's saying here to make complete sense.
Precisely. That's the point I'm making. So him himself and all the other analysts were asking the opposition leader, what's the cost of what he said?
Right.
Nobody asked the Prime Minister, answer Prime Minister, but all the things that we talk about, we not see them in the budget numbers.
Right.
So all them are finance.
Which means there would be additional.
Precisely.
Or let's use the financial word, extra.
Of course.
Extra spending.
Yes.
Extraordinary.
Precisely.
Excluded.
Precisely. And nobody asks about that. That's why I'm telling you, I have to question these analysts.
Let's take the break.
You're listening to